Show me your glory, Father. I need your glory.
I need your glory. I want your glory. Less of me and more of you is what I need.
Show me your glory.
Show me your glory. Yeah. Show me your power.
Less of me.
Less of me and more of you is what I.
Sharing love, November 22nd, 2020, lesson 12 in our fall quarterly. Sharing love. Today we're in Acts chapter 4, verses 32 through chapter 5, verse 11. Sharing love. It's a lot going on in our lesson today. It's a ton of stuff. We're talking about sharing love. We're talking about deceptiveness, community love. I mean, it's just so much going on. So let's dive into it. So the sin that we're in now is shortly after Pentecost, and the numbers have grown in the church. In the new churches, we know it has grown, and thousands of people have committed themselves and gave themselves on the day of Pentecost. And we're at a point now, this time, what they were doing, it was almost like a community outreach, something to help people. So let's set the stage. So we have a point to where basically the rich are given to the poor, or the rich are given to those that are needy. So you had people, they would sell off their property, and they would take those proceeds and they would donate them to the church, so the church may help other people. So in this lesson scripture today, it talks about two different kinds of that giving, two different kinds of that sacrifice, and that lack thereof sacrifice. And the lesson really focuses on that second part. So the people, they would sell their property, piece of their property, all of their property. They would give their money, and those proceeds would go to help, so that nobody would be without. We can learn from that today. So there was one man, a Levite, named Cyprus, and his name would later be changed to Barnabas. So Barnabas, he sold off his field, and he brought the money to the apostles. The new name that he was given, Barnabas, was called Son of Encouragement. So that's what people, that was the thing to do. You sell off your land, you give the money back. You didn't even have to say. And the key to this was, they didn't say everybody had to do it. It was totally voluntary. It was voluntary. If you felt like you wanted to sell off some of your land and make that sacrifice to God, you did that. Now, on the flip side, when we jump into chapter 5, you had this man named Ananias and his wife Sapphira. So they're too much like what we see today. They sold off a piece of their land. Ain't all of it. They sold off a piece of their land, all right, made the money, and they only gave a portion of it to the drive, basically, to the church. They only gave a portion of it. And they were confronted. Peter confronted them. And long story short, no long story short. And what happened was, Peter confronted them. First, he confronted the husband. Told him what he had done. No, the Holy Spirit had revealed to him what he had done. Ananias fell dead. They took Ananias out. They buried him. They brought his wife in. Okay? Confronted her. She wanted to act like she didn't know what was going on. She didn't know her husband she didn't know that the husband had been confronted. She falls dead. It's no need to lie. When it's completely voluntary, when God is not even saying you have to do this, it's no need to lie. Profiting off a good cause. So we bring that into today's society. We have so many people with these GoFundMes. You have politicians that are out there fundraising. You have people when people get sick or for a cause, cancer awareness, heart awareness, any type of awareness of a disease. People raising money for these causes, and they're only giving a portion to the cause. You raise $2 million, and you only give $200,000 or $20,000 or $100,000 to the cause, and you line your pockets with the rest, buying stuff with the rest, lying on these things. Good causes, you're using a good cause, something that's supposed to be to help the community, something that's designed to share the love, but people are using it. Now, one thing we better be thankful for is God is not giving us what we deserve when we deserve it. Because Ananias and Sapphira, they got what they deserved when they deserved it, right then. Hopefully, we heed their example and learn from them. Because what the wages of sin is, the wages of sin, because you have to pay for sin, the wage of it is death. The wage of sin is death. So just listen to the wage. You gotta pay for it. It's death. They paid for it right then. Ananias and Sapphira, they paid for it right then and there. We better learn from that. That we don't get what we deserve when we deserve, that we don't pay for it right then and there. But oh, thank God for Jesus. Thank God for Jesus. Thank God for Jesus. We can, Jesus know that we're imperfect. I just got to believe God just had to make an example right then and there. Because, truth be told, and I say this is said too often, I said, if we got what we deserve when we deserve it, this earth would be empty right now. This earth would be empty right now. Now, this sharing love that was supposed to be there, they took advantage of it. We have to realize also into what was going on. This was the new church. These were people that used to commune together. These were Jews and Gentiles together, working together to take care of the community, selling their property to give to people. That means they trusted God. That means they trusted God over the materialistic things that they had. We don't trust God enough. We don't trust them enough. And I'm not just talking to you that's watching, I'm talking to me too. Everybody has been in points where they don't trust. But we have to work. We have to get better. Because the camera that I'm recording this video on right now is a materialistic piece of thing. God allowed me to have this. When my wife bought this camera for me, I had no idea what the intended purpose was. But now I'm seeing the intended purpose for this camera right now. This material. Trust God. Trust not the materials. Trust not the materials. Trust in God. Have faith in God. Take care of your communities. And this is everybody. We got to do a better job. Frankie Beverly even said, he said, we've got so much, we could all be having fun. We've got so much, we could all be having so much fun. What was Frankie said? It's so many people out there with so much, but they want to hold on to it. They want to hold on to it. They want to use schemes to make their riches more and the poor get poor. But it's so much, and it's enough out there for everybody to reap the benefits. These people in this time, they were doing their best to make sure that everybody was taken care of. Are we doing that today? If you are, kudos to you. If you aren't, there's good news. You can. Now, I'm not saying that you got to go out and buy people houses. You got to take care of people. But do something. Start somewhere. Thanksgiving, the season of thanks and the season of giving is upon us. Over these next 34, 35 days, the rest of the year, what are you going to do? Do something. If it's just helping one family, do something. Show some sharing love. I mean, if you got a church of 50 people and everybody bought one item, I mean, just think. Think on a normal meal. If you just want to provide somebody for something for Thanksgiving or Christmas or a meal, if you got 50 people in your church, you can take 5 families easily. Easily. 10 people take care of this family. 10 people take care of that family. 10 people. I'm just saying. We can do it. And if you see, what we can't do is get caught up and act like Ananias and Sapphira. If there's stuff left over, we take it for ourselves. No, no, no. And now this is going to sting right here. This is going to sting. And God, this is just hit me right then. God just gave me this right here. When you're having things at your church, okay, hear me here. When you're having your repasts, now I'm saying not funeral repasts, just repasts where you're having your meals after church, and it's all that food left over, okay? This is for a good cause. You're supposed to be feeding the people in the church, but so many of you packing up stuff and taking it home. Some of you packing up stuff and taking it home to your family member who ain't been to church in 5 years. Some of you packing up stuff so you can have meals for the week when you able to buy it. I guarantee you it's some people outside of your church that need it. More than you. How about if you got enough to fix 20 or 30 plates to take home, you give those 20 or 30 plates to some people that need them. Huh? How about that? That's sharing love. That's taking care of the community right there. We got so much. All that's left over, give it to somebody that needs it. Even if that's not even the intended purpose. If the purpose is just to feed the members of your church or the people that came to that program and you got food left over, go give it to somebody who needs it. Give it to somebody who needs it. If tonight you ask your husband, you ask your wife, you ask your kids ask you, what are we eating for dinner tonight? What are we eating for dinner tonight? Or what do you want to eat for dinner tonight? It's no reason for you to act like that. Because there's so many people in this world, even in your cities, even in my city, there's so many people that are saying to themselves, and they wake up this morning and they say, am I going to eat today? Am I going to eat today? What am I going to eat today? What do I want to eat today? Realize the blessings that you have. Realize what God has done for you and what we can do to share. Next time you see somebody on the side of the road or you see somebody in your downtown area that needs some help, I'm not saying we got to help everybody. I'm not saying every time you see somebody in need, you got to help them. But man, come on. If you've seen 100 people and you haven't gave anybody anything, examine yourself. If you constantly walking around with money in your pockets and you're seeing people in need and you're not helping, what are you doing? What are you sharing? We got to do better. We can't take advantage of it either. So many people out here raising money and lining their pockets. Stop doing it. You see them, call them out. God will deal with what needs to be dealt with. Have a great day. Share love. Help out. We're all a part of God's body.